Good day, everyone. Sylvie Close here, and we will be doing a reading of Dev Note 8. Another round of balance and gameplay changes, plus the Labor Day event preview. Hey pilots, what's up? Today's patch drops a round of striker balance changes, weekly mission updates, and a bunch of PvE improvements. We have also updated our teaming violation policy with stricter enforcement, keeping the game fair is non-negotiable, and we're doubling down on that going forward. Here's the full rundown on today's patch and a preview of the next two updates. Brawler retuning and general mechanic fixes. After rolling out the melee damage rework, we've been keeping a close eye on the meta. Based on what we've seen, brawlers across the board are getting buffed. We've also tuned the majority of strikers based on high-frequency player feedback and combat data. On the mechanics side, we've shipped the terrain adaptation changes we mentioned last time. Flying strikers can now transform normally underwater, and both the underwater movement penalty and low gravity bonuses have been toned down. For shield parrying, we noticed that flanking melee attacks were sometimes being counted as hitting the shield, which felt pretty off. This patch tightens the parry detection window on the combat shield, so close quarters fights don't get decided by janky RNG. The balance is always a work in progress, and we know there's still a lot to fix. We'll keep the current patch cadence going to get the game into a better shape. PvP emission token gains getting a boost. This patch directly addresses one of the biggest complaints: PvP weekly missions were too restrictive. The specific striker only requirement is gone. All missions now work with any striker, and most can be completed in a 3v3 as well as a 6v6, except the cumulative medal missions. Play whatever you want, however you want. On that note, we hear you on the 3v3 feeling a bit bare bones. In an upcoming patch, we're reworking mission token gains for both 3v3 and 6v6. Grinding a full match, putting your neck on the line, and walking away with a measly handful of tokens on a loss? Yeah, that sucks. We're raising the base token payout across the board, with a big jump specifically for the losing team. More 3v3 features, ranked mode, end of season rewards, etc. are coming too. Since we're mid-season 3, adding rank rewards right now would mess with season settlement, so that part rolls out after the new season kicks off. New mods and weapon buffs. Mods are getting new stat rolls. Damage, defense, energy, cooldown, and reload time are all being added. High rarity mods are now guaranteed to roll higher than low rarity ones. Mods only work in mechabreak and covert ops modes. Drop sources stay the same for now, but we'll be going deeper on the mod system in future patches to give PvE players more build options to chase. Speaking of PvE, across the board, gliders and weapons hit harder, and devices are much harder to destroy. Ammo stack limits are also increased, and mechabreak free-for-all mode now drops restricted zone keys. Storage getting cramped? The inventory cap is jumping to 600 slots, now expandable with either credits or Corite. The credits cap is also going up to 10 million. Between the bigger inventory and the ammo stack buffs, your storage headaches should ease up quite a bit. Why the big PvE overhaul? We want to be real with you about all the recent PvE and mechabreak changes. The old systems had a ceiling, but no matter how much we patched them, the end result was always going to feel limited. So instead of continuing to slap band-aids on a creaky foundation, we're tearing it down and rebuilding it right. Something with long-term depth and actual progression to chase. The past month and a half of changes has been about breaking old constraints and laying the groundwork for a new mode we're currently building out. These changes are the foundation, not the final product. Illegal teaming and mechabreak. Zero tolerance. Fair play matters, full stop. Yesterday's patch notes laid out the updated enforcement rules for illegal teaming and mechabreak. The first offense, minimum 3-day ban. Repeat offenses, escalating bans plus leaderboard wipes. Severe cases, permanent ban. Any behavior that undermines game integrity will be punished. We'll be monitoring violations continuously and posting ban lists on the official site periodically. Use the in-game report function if you see something sketchy. April 28th, the Labor Day holiday event patch. For PvP players, we're launching a limited-time Battle Lab mode, a 6v6 match with no objectives. Everyone gets a global buff, a random global buff, and perks. Pure chaos! Should be a blast. PvE players, a focus event to farm the new mods more efficiently so you can gear up faster. We're not going to rush a half-baked update out the door just to hit a date. Give us a little more time. In the next devlog, we'll lay out exactly where we are and where we're going, and we won't let you down. So what about the new season? By now, Mechabreak should already be deep in its new season promo cycle. So why the radio silence? For a combination of reasons, including the time needed to build out the new gameplay systems. Season 4 is delayed, and when it does arrive, it's going to look pretty different from previous seasons. We'll be giving everyone the full picture before the next patch drops. 2 more maintenance patches are scheduled before May. April 21, Tuesday, a balance-focused patch. We'll be watching how each striker performs after today's changes and making follow-up adjustments accordingly. Also, future patches are moving to Tuesdays to avoid disrupting weekend play sessions. So, there's a lot to unpack here, and first of all, to start off with, I think despite it being like 4 months later than when they said they were going to, I think this is proper communication for the first time from the devs in Mechabreak. In November, they said, hey, we want to work on communication, basically starting like next month. And then we basically got the bare minimum of communication. Even though we technically are not getting as much communication, this dev note has the most substance out of previous dev notes, and the way that it's written actually sounds like more things are being communicated, more things are being discussed, more plans are being made. We don't have a roadmap like people were hoping for, but this actually lays out something similar to a roadmap. So, as we saw in the patch, and if you watched the previous video, they did talk about like why they did certain things, what they were doing, and kind of like their methodology and ideology behind it, roughly, kind of. They just kind of really briefly touched on it. They basically are saying that they are looking at player feedback and they're adjusting things based on what players are saying. I've seen some players who are like on the higher tier of things like dislike some of these changes, but honestly, the majority of players are the casual base, and it looks like they've finally decided to focus on the casual player base because those are like the more like numerous players. That's what it seems like, and I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. They finally addressed the PvP mission tokens because it's been pretty disheartening if you play, say, a match of Verge. You lose and you get like unironically 30 tokens. It makes it feel like you've wasted your time by losing, and it doesn't feel very rewarding. It's pretty disheartening to get just an extremely paltry number of tokens, and it looks like they are adjusting this, and they want to make sure people actually feel like their time is being respected and they can play the game and have fun, and while winning will net more rewards, it won't feel as bad to like lose, which is good. Like, you don't want people to feel like they wasted their time playing a game. That's just bad. So it looks like they're addressing this, which is good. This is actually like a very good change. This is something that's been very much requested, and I'm glad that they're finally addressing it. For mechabreak, they are deciding to add a lot of like different buffs, buffing weapons, adding different like damage rolls and things like that, because part of the mechabreak loop is getting mods, doing rolls on mods, and like improving your striker and tuning it however you want it to be tuned with the mod system. It looks like they want to really get into the mod system, and they want to make that more of like a really core feature of the game instead of just like passive buffs. That's what it sounds like they want to do for mechabreak, it seems like. I think they are finally realizing that PvE is a very much requested thing, and it was a really bad idea to start the game off with a PvP only, all the modes are PvP in some capacity mode. They understood that covert being tickets only was not very appealing for a lot of people, especially like if you're trying to get the PvE crowd in. A lot of things are band-aid fixes. Taking out the tickets for mechabreak covert, that doesn't really attract a lot of PvE players, but I think they understand that there is a demand and there's a market for PvE content. So it sounds like they are putting more resources into that, which is good, because a lot of mecha fans do care about PvE, and I dare say more mecha fans enjoy a PvE experience and would love to do it with friends compared to a PvP experience, because part of the joy of mecha and like playing games about mecha is the power fantasy. And if you play PvP, some people will get the power fantasy, but a lot of that power fantasy is also lost. So I think this is good. I think it's great that they're finally focusing on PvE and that they are working on putting that as something that they want to do. Teaming has been an issue in mechabreak, and it looks like they are working on taking care of that. I hope this also extends to handling player reports in mechabreak as well. So, not mechabreak, but it's like just in general, like if someone's being an asshole, just to put it lightly, I hope they actually address it in Verge, because it looks like we have a lot of like repeat people that don't really get punished that often or frequently, and it would be great if they applied general like attention to that across the board. It looks like for the Labor Day patch, they want to try different things. We're getting a new PvP mode, which sounds like it's going to just be, I don't really know exactly what it is. If there are no objectives, I do wonder what the Battle Lab's purpose is. Maybe it's going to be like a 5-minute battle mode. Everybody gets some kind of random global buffs, and it's just going to be like a free-for-all, kill people, you know, have fun. Wacky fun. It looks like for PvE, they want to incorporate the new mods as something to kind of like wet the teeth, let players dip their toes into in regards to like PvE, similar to when they listen to the players. And this is like some of my suggestions too that I'm really glad that they listened to. For the boss battle they had for the winter event, or the follow-up event to that, when we had Tristego, they actually put in weapons that you could use to try, so people who never played mechabreak or don't have any modulars could experience what it's like to actually use like an alternate kit using these weapons. So it looks like this is a good step, especially for players who've never bothered getting mods, who never dipped into mechabreak, who are interested in PvE, that this is an event that will give them that experience of getting new things to customize their strikers with, while also giving them the ability and opportunity to get new mods to improve their account and their overall like customization options, accessibility, and so forth. So it looks like they are actually working on having more frequent patches before the Break Edition, and I think that is really good. Something that has been lacking before this dev note was, it seemed like they were just kind of coasting in the same pace that they always have been. It felt like we would get balanced patches towards like the end of a season, like maybe like one. The next season would start, maybe there'd be an event, maybe there'd be something in the middle. But it sounds like they've adjusted how they're handling all of this by having more frequent patches, more frequent go-overs based on like the player feedback and the data that they get. So this seems like, assuming that they actually are true to their that they are true to their word, that we're getting more frequent patches, they're making more changes, more adjustments, they're listening to feedback more frequently, and I strongly appreciate that they basically laid out a better plan of the things that they want to do and their goals and their ideologies and what they want to accomplish. This is something they very lightly did in a previous dev note. They kind of said like a couple weeks ago, 2-3 weeks ago, like they want to address like energy problems in strikers and stuff like that. They want to increase interactability and make gameplay like more enjoyable, more fast-paced. But this takes it a step further where they want to talk about further things. This also addresses questions that people had. Like, for me, one of the biggest things that I was like, what is happening? Like, what is going on with Mechabreak? Where is all of the feedback and things like that? So they basically like provided this dev note, and they actually addressed with like all sorts of things. They even talked about like, hey, we went radio silent, and you know, there's a reason for that. We wanted to like talk about stuff. It's because they literally, in this slide that I made, so why the radio silence? They actually said that, which is great, because I was like, why are they so radio silent? They said in November they're gonna have more communication, but where's the communication? Like, I didn't see like where that was happening. We didn't get any more legendary Chris Kwok dev videos. We didn't get anything like that. We just got like bare bones dev notes. We got patches at the same pace as all of the things. Then we got season 3, which lasted longer than a normal season, and it's like, what the hell is going on, CSUN? We see things like Snowbreak is on an indefinite maintenance. We don't know what's happening with that. We barely hear anything from the devs in regards to this game, and it's like, I thought you said there was going to be more communication. But now we have these dev notes, and it looks like they are working on better communication. And, you know, it's 4 months later than when they said they were going to have like better communication, but it's better late than never. I don't have any complaints with these dev notes. I'm looking forward to seeing whether or not they'll actually like stick true to their word. I want to hope that they want to stick true to their word, but given their track record, I will keep my reservations, you know. I would like to see it first rather than hope for it and then like be surprised when my hope is dashed against a corner. But we will see what happens, and who knows. Anyway, that is our reading of the dev note and a reaction to it. I will see you guys next time. I don't know what the next video will be, but I hope you have a good day, evening, or afternoon, whatever it may be. Check out the streams when I do stream. You might have fun.